Good morning, my dear students. My name is Twayna. I am currently available at the Hamlet Tuition Center, Brahmatal, Kathmandu. If you want to contact me, it's 9849135739. I'm also available at the Kumudini Kunja Secondary School, Kalimati, Kathmandu. My dear students of grade 10, we have been studying, this is your science class, and in your science class we have been studying about nervous system and glandular system. In our previous class, we discussed about brain, its different parts and the function of different parts of brain, and in today's class we will discuss about spinal cord and peripheral nervous system. Okay, spinal cord is a long cylindrical extension of brain. It is made up of neurons. Well, neurons are the cells, specialized cells. We will study that also. Neurons are the specialized cells which can generate and transmit electrical impulse. In a sense, you can say neurons are the cells that act as conductor wire in a circuit. Okay, they can transmit electrical impulse. Electrical impulse basically is electricity, which is in on and off pattern. Okay, and this electrical impulse is the mode of transmission of information within our body. Okay, we see something that reaches to our brain. Yes, that information reaches to our brain in the form of electrical impulse. I say something, you hear it. Yes, that information also reaches to your brain through your ear in the form of electrical impulse. Your brain tells your muscles to move. Yes, your brain gives the command for your muscles to move in the form of electrical impulse. So you can say our body actually runs on electricity. Our body actually runs on electricity, and neurons are the cells that produce electricity. Okay, so brain definitely is made up of neurons, and spinal cord is also made up of neurons. Okay, so brain, the part of brain you have discussed, we have studied, it is cerebrum, cerebellum and midbrain, and I also told you that midbrain continues downward in the form of spinal cord. Okay, so spinal cord is long cylindrical extension of brain, and spinal cord is also very delicate organ. Just like brain, spinal cord is also very delicate organ. It needs to be protected, and it is protected inside our vertebral column. Okay, spinal cord lies inside our vertebral column, and vertebra is very hard bone, so any physical injury from outside is prevented by the vertebral column. Okay, and nowadays if injury happens on spinal cord at any point, then all parts of your body below that point will be paralyzed. Okay, if your spinal cord is injured near the neck, then your whole body will be paralyzed. If your spinal cord is injured, let's say at this point, then your legs will be paralyzed below this point. Or if your spinal cord is injured at this point, then you cannot even move your back. Okay, so at whichever point your spinal cord is injured, below that point you will be paralyzed. Okay, let us continue. Okay, so you know what is spinal cord. Yes, spinal cord is the extension of brain, which is made up of neurons. Okay, and it can also transmit electrical impulse just like brain and other neurons. Yes, and spinal cord is protected by vertebral column. That much we have discussed. Now the functions of spinal cord. See, it acts as, it connects various body parts to the brain. You can see this is brain. In this diagram you can see it is very simple diagram. Suppose that I am talking about fingers. Yes, these are my fingers and this is my brain. You can see my brain and my finger, they are not directly connected. They are not directly connected. See, the wires or the nerves coming from my finger, they first enter to the spinal cord. they first enter to the spinal cord. Only after that, through spinal cord, it is connected to brain. So spinal cord is the connector between brain and all other organs of our body. Spinal cord is the connector between brain and all other parts of our body. So spinal cord connects different parts of our body to our brain. That is why you can see, if your spinal cord is broken at this point, let me make it red. Okay, and let me make it thicker. See, if your spinal cord is broken at this point, then you see the messages coming from brain, they are broken right here. They cannot transmit below here. And whichever nerves, see, now especially the nerves coming from legs, they are connected to spinal cord at this point. Yes, up to this point. That means below this point they will never get any message from brain. They will never get any electrical impulse from brain. As a result, below this point, or whichever part of your body is connected to this part of spinal cord, they will be paralyzed. They will not move. Yes, in that case, even if I chop off your leg, you will not feel any pain. Even if I drill your leg, you will not feel any pain. There won't be any pain. There won't be any movement. Nothing. Okay. Okay. So the major function of spinal cord is to act as the bridge between brain and different parts of our body. It connects various body parts to the brain. So it passes the signal from the brain to the organ, or from organs to the brain. So whatever signal comes from brain, it has to pass through spinal cord first, only then to the organs. Or whatever signals come from organs, they also have to pass through spinal cord first, only then they pass to the brain. Okay, that is one of the function. And the second function is it coordinates reflex action. We will study in detail about reflex action, but let me tell you in short about reflex action. Reflex action are the responses that we show without our knowledge. Okay, the responses that we show without our knowledge, they are called reflex action. And why are we not aware about such reaction? Because they are not conducted by brain, but they are conducted by spinal cord. Okay, like if you see a tiger, before you know that you have seen a tiger, you will start running away. Yes, and that happens without your knowledge. And after you start to run, immediately, only after that, you will realize that you have seen a tiger. Yes, and sometimes it happens that with our brain manipulates the images as an illusion. You think you saw something very terrifying, and you startle, torsino. You startle, but only after you startle, you will realize what you have seen, or what you think you have seen. See, such responses that you show without your knowledge, without your consciousness, they are called reflex action. And why do they take place without your consciousness? Why do you not know these responses? Because your brain does not cause these reactions. It is the spinal cord that causes these reactions. That's why you do not know them. Yes, and later on, when spinal cord sends that signal to brain, only then you get to know about it. Okay, that's all about spinal cord. Let us go to now the peripheral nervous system. Okay, the word peripheral means sideways. Yes, central means the axis. Peripheral means sideways. Well, peripheral nervous system, they are actually the delivery system. They actually are the delivery system. Okay, they delivers whatever impulse that comes from brain to the organs, or whatever impulse coming from organs to the brain. They are just the conductors in our body. They are just the conductors in our body. Just like in an electric circuit, they only pass electricity or electric impulse throughout our body. That is the only function they perform. Got it? Okay, you can see all those fibers, all those nerve fibers, they are called nerve fibers. N-E-R-V-E, nerve. Okay, all those nerve fibers that are coming out of brain and the spinal cord, they are peripheral nervous system. They consist peripheral nervous system. Okay, so this is the whole diagram of nervous system. In this, brain and spinal cord, which lie in central position, they are the part of central nervous system. But beyond that, everything is peripheral nervous system. Okay, which do not lie in the center. Yes, and the main component of peripheral nervous system is the nerve and ganglions or ganglia. Nerve and ganglia. The main components of nervous system, peripheral nervous system, are the nerves and ganglia. Now the nerves, let us discuss about nerves. Nerves or nerve fibers, they are very long fibers in our body. Okay, they are made up of neurons. They are made up of neurons. Okay, and the neurons are covered by fibrous tissues. Just like the wire in our house, wire is made up of metal or copper, and that metal is covered by protective covering, or plastic or rubber. Yes, just like that in our body also, these wires or nerve fibers are made up of neurons. Yes, and these neurons are covered by fibrous tissues. Okay, these fibrous tissues, they help to protect the neurons, because I have already told you, neurons are very delicate organs. Okay, delicate structures. Okay, and single nerve fiber contains thousands of neurons. Okay, thousands of neurons, they bundle up, they form a bundle to form a nerve fiber. Okay, single nerve fiber is not single neuron, it contains thousands of neurons. Okay, and among these nerve fibers, some of the nerve fibers are coming out of brain. You can see some of the nerve fibers are coming out of brain, and some of the nerve fibers are coming out of spinal cord. Okay, those nerve fibers that are coming out of brain, they are called cranial nerves. Yes, those nerve fibers that are coming out of your brain, they are called cranial nerves, and those nerve fibers that are coming out of your spinal cord, they are called spinal nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Yes, so there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves in our body. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Okay, among them you can see cervical spinal nerves, they arise from cervical vertebra, from the region of cervical vertebra. Thoracic spinal nerve, they arise from the region of thoracic vertebra. Lumbar spinal nerve, they arise from the region of lumbar vertebra. And sacral spinal nerve, they arise from the region of sacrum. Okay, so here you have 8 pairs, isn't it? Here you have 12 pairs, 12 plus 8, 30. Here you have 12 plus 8, 20. Here you have 5 pairs. Okay, 20 plus 5, 25. And here you have 5 pairs, 30. Okay, I guess there is a mistake, yes? Okay, I don't think so. Okay, anyway, 30 pairs are seen here. I guess your cervical spinal nerve, it should be okay, the items not this. Okay, sacral spinal nerve, below sacral spinal nerve there is coccygeal spinal nerve. I guess that is missing in this diagram. Okay, anyway, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves, and all those nerves, be it cranial nerve or spinal nerve, they have same function. Okay, either they take messages from brain to organs, or they take messages from organs to brain. Okay, they are just communicator. Any confusion up here? Okay, so next part of our brain, our nervous system, next part of our nervous system is the autonomic nervous system, also referred as ANS. Autonomic nervous system is actually a special branch of our nervous system. It is not a different part of nervous system. It does not have different structure. Actually, it is a set of peripheral nervous system. Yes, it is a part of peripheral nervous system. It uses a set of nerves from the peripheral nervous system. Okay, and these particular nerves and certain part of your brain, okay, these particular nerves and certain part of your brain and spinal cord, they are programmed to maintain harmony inside your body. Okay, maintain harmony means to keep the vital functions inside your body to certain level. Okay, for example, if your rate of heartbeat is supposed to be 72 per minute, if your rate of heartbeat is supposed to be 72 per minute, okay, heartbeat rate 72 times per minute, it is your normal heartbeat rate. Yes, but because of several factors, your heartbeat rate can be increased, isn't it? It can be increased. Okay, your heartbeat rate can be increased by several factors. For example, if you are afraid, if you become afraid of something, or if you become excited, yes, or if you become nervous, there are several situations in which your body demands more oxygen. Yes, like fear, nervous, and excitement, and hard work. Okay, several these factors or these conditions demand high amount of oxygen, and to supply high amount of oxygen, heart must beat fast. Okay, so these factors, they can increase heartbeat rate. If your heartbeat rate is not increased, then you cannot perform sufficiently in such conditions. Okay, like you need to finish certain work, you need to carry heavy load. Okay, you need to carry a heavy load, isn't it? But your blood supply remains the same, then your body, your muscles cannot get enough oxygen, isn't it? And then you cannot perform that work. Or you get into a fight, someone is coming to kill you. Either you have to fight with that person, or you have to run fast away from that person. In any case, your body will need very high amount of energy. Yes, for that purpose also your heartbeat rate must be increased. Yes, in certain situation your heartbeat rate must be increased, and who does that? You cannot control it. You cannot control it. Okay, you cannot control such thing. It is done by our certain part of our nervous system, including central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. It is done by certain part of our nervous system, and that part of our nervous system is called autonomic nervous system. Okay, and in autonomic nervous system we have two different parts or two different system. One of the system is called sympathetic nervous system, and another one is called parasympathetic nervous system. And in this case, sympathetic nervous system, of autonomic nervous system increases the heartbeat. It needs to increase heartbeat. Any confusion up here? Okay, in such condition, heartbeat rate needs to be increased, and who does that? Sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system increases the heartbeat. Okay, I get that much. Heartbeat is increased to, let's say, 120 per minute. Yes, okay. At 120 per minute, your body will get sufficient amount of oxygen, and you can respond very quickly and very effectively. Yes, okay. So I would say energy level increases. This is it. Any confusion? Okay. Since this reaction, it prepares you for basically two things: either you fight or you flight. Flight means run away. In dangerous situation, whenever you are in dangerous situation, either you need to fight or you need to run away from that situation. In both cases, you will need very high amount of energy compared to general condition, compared to normal condition. And to produce high energy, your heart rate must be increased. Your heartbeat rate must be increased. And who does that? Sympathetic nervous system does that. So sympathetic nervous system prepares you for fight or flight response. And sympathetic nervous system is not a different part of your body. It is actually some parts of your brain and some parts of your peripheral nervous system. Okay, any confusion up here? No confusion, yes? Okay, so that is the case of emergency condition. Yes, but after the emergency condition is over, let me move it to the side. After the emergency condition is over, yes, when the condition is normal, if your heartbeat rate is still 120 per minute, if your heartbeat rate is still 120 per minute, will you be able to survive? If your heartbeat rate remains 120 per minute for a long time, if your heartbeat rate remains 120 per minute for a long time, then you will exhaust very fast, because your heart also need energy. Your heart also need energy. It cannot beat fast for very long time period. Okay, so it will also get exhausted. And what happens when your heart is exhausted? You will die. Yes. Okay, so after the emergency situation is over, your heart cannot stay in excited situation. That is lethal. Heart cannot stay in excited condition. Okay, your heart cannot stay in excited condition. That means 120 per minute would be detrimental or lethal for your heart. Your heart cannot stay like that. It needs to be decreased. Now, who will work to decrease your heartbeat in that case? Who will lower your heartbeat? Once again, it is your brain. It is your brain, the part of your brain which is not under your control. The part of your brain which is not under your control. And that part of the brain is included in parasympathetic nervous system of ANS, autonomic nervous system. That part of the brain which lowers the heartbeat, which lowers the heartbeat when the dangerous situation is over. When the dangerous situation is over, that sorry, I'm really very sorry for that. Okay, when dangerous situation is over, your heart cannot remain excited, yes, and certain part of your brain work very hard to reduce or to decrease the heartbeat of your body, or to decrease the heartbeat, rate of heartbeat, yes, so that you can survive, isn't it? And that part of your brain is known as parasympathetic nervous system of autonomic nervous system. Okay, decreases the heartbeat rate and brings to the normal level. This is it. See, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, they act opposite to each other. Okay, when there is dangerous situation, sympathetic nervous system prepares you either to fight or flight, yes, by producing more energy. Heartbeat is only an example. There are other mechanisms as well to produce more energy. Heartbeat is just an example. Okay, and then after that dangerous situation is over, your body will be brought back to normal level by parasympathetic nervous system. They act just opposite to each other. Okay, and these automatic functions, they are usually controlled by the part of your brain called hypothalamus. Yes, we haven't studied about this, but I've shown you the hypothalamus in a diagram. You want to see it again? Okay, look at this diagram. Here you can see hypothalamus. This space third ventricle. Yes, this space third ventricle. This space, it is the hypothalamus. Yes, this space is the hypothalamus, and these parts, they control sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, well, parasympathetic nervous system is also known as feed and breathe. That means when you are not in dangerous situation, you have two things to do. You have two things to do. You eat, you grow, and you breathe. Yes, these are the things an animal would do when they are in relaxed state. Okay, when they are in danger, they need to fight or flight. When they are in relaxed state, they need to feed and breathe. And for this purpose, they need a lot of food reserved in their body, isn't it? And when sympathetic nervous system is active, you cannot eat, you cannot digest. Okay, that is why for such situation also you must have reserved food, and that reserved food is collected during normal situation. You can compare this to the current lockdown situation as well. Right now, because of pandemic, we are in fight or flight mode. Our sympathetic nervous system is activated. That means you cannot go to work, you cannot earn anything, you cannot make any money, but you have to subsist on whatever money you have remaining in reserve. Yes, you cannot go to earn anything. You have to live on whatever is reserved with you, isn't it? Okay, when the pandemic situation will be over, we will be resumed to the normal condition. Then what we do? We do not stay at home at that time. We will not eat whatever is remaining with us. We will go to work, and we will earn money, and we will earn more money. We will put them as reserve, because in future also such situations might be there, isn't it? Okay, just like that, our body also has that kind of system. It is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, and these are the parts of autonomic nervous system. Now you know what is autonomic nervous system. The part of our nervous system, yes, certain part of part of our brain, spinal cord and peripheral nervous system, act on their own without our consciousness to balance the vital functions inside our body. Okay, and that part of nervous system is known as autonomic nervous system. Okay, we will do only this much today. In our next class we will discuss even more about autonomic nervous system, yes, and then we will discuss about neurons as well in our next class. Okay, we still have to discuss about this diagram that we will do in our next class. Okay, so this much for today. Thank you class, we'll see you in our next class. Thank you very much.